Hello, my friends. Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa Stringworks Man Cave. Got a few things to talk about for today, and I think you'll find them interesting. It does look like we're live here. I just saw it scroll up, so I guess somebody made a comment there. It looks like Walt Willard. So I never know anymore whether or not we have anybody out there or not with it at this strange time. But anyway, I thought I would start off with a couple of viewer gift things. First of all, Paul Canham sent me a donation check for the mandolin lessons, and I want to say thank you very much, Paul. It's very generous of you. I really do appreciate it. Really, really do appreciate it. And I got another viewer gift from another fella, and that would be John Pepper. You see his comments all the time. And John Pepper sent me this. Got to get it straight there. Jerry Rosa's Workshop. I can fix anything except stupid. Boy, ain't that the truth. Stupid's really hard to fix. You can't even repair that. Let's see. So anyway, I say again, thank you to both Paul and John for those nice gifts. I appreciate it very much. Don't have a whole lot more. I'll just tell you very quickly before I show you the little video I have. I started making the video on the chainsaw that was sent to me from Wild Badger Power Sports, I think it is, or Power... I don't know. Anyway, Wild Badger Power is all I know for sure. Anyway, I did start making that video. I'm going to do a little bit more. After I watched the video back, I thought I could do a little more on that, so I'm going to do a little bit more on that. I started to make the video on putting the desk together, and then I realized we don't have the legs for the desk. Those came today, and they just came a few minutes ago, and it was 2 more boxes. So we've ended up getting 3 different shipments. We got a shipment for just the drawer first, and then a shipment for the top, and now today 2 more boxes in one shipment for the legs. And each box, you're not going to believe this, each box weighs 55 pounds. Now that's some heavy duty legs, if you ask me. I have not opened it yet, so I don't know what that involves, but I think it involves the up and down mechanism. There's some kind of a motor and deal that moves it up and down, and it's a variable height desk, and it's very strong. I think it holds several hundred pounds actually. Anyway, so I'm excited to get that put together and get off of this little tiny thing I'm using here. It's so tiny, I don't have any room at all. And that's going to be really nice to have be able to spread out on that desk and get this all organized. So now let's talk about the first wall on the second story. I've got it completed. It's completely built, ready to be installed. I thought I might get it installed today, but it just took forever to finish it up. To make the trim and trim around the window and the windowsill and all that. And the reason it took so long, well, first of all, everything that did. I mean, like anything that could go wrong did go wrong. And but secondarily, what also took a lot of time was that I made it all out of scraps. In other words, you have those slabs that come off your sawmill, and you couldn't make a full board out of them, but you can get little pieces of boards, and that's all I needed was little boards for making this trim. So I had to saw all that up. Well, getting a straight edge on it first of all, and then cutting it to the right width and all that. So it's a lot more effort. You can't just go over and pick up a board and cut it for your trim. So that's what took so long. Anyway, it took me quite a while. It looks really good. I think you'll like it. Here is a video about that. Well, the next wall is complete now, finally. I got all the trim done. So I got this windowsill made and the sideboard trim, the inside trim boards. So, and then the top piece is trimmed. A lot of work
in it. It's way more work than you would think. This siding sticks down past the bottom of the wall because it's got to meet up with the other siding that's already there, because this is the second story. I have it sitting on this like 5x5 board, and I have it nailed in 3 places to keep it on there until we get it up on top of the second story. Then that big 5x5 has to come out of there, and then this will sit down on the floor and the siding will hang over. You can see how the siding hangs over here, right here. So it hangs over that much. So that's the reason I have it sitting on that large 5x5. Anyway, it's a heavy wall. That's way heavier than it looks because it's solid wood. The siding, everything is solid. And it's a little bit on the green side. It's not completely cured, so that even makes it heavier.
And I'll get to test how heavy that is here in a little bit. At 2 o'clock, Ron, my buddy, is coming over, and he and I, and probably Sue and my grandson Trinian, and who knows who else we might try to incorporate. We're going to try to move that wall and put it in place. I had hoped to get it in place before this video right now, or before our vlog right now, but that didn't work out because it just took longer to trim it out than I thought it would. So let's go to the comments and see what we've got here. I'll scroll to the top. I know some of these were put on pretty early. Well, there's John Pepper himself right there, number 1. So thank you again, John, for the sign. I will find a good prominent place for this in my workshop, I promise you. Wayne Blitz says good morning. And yeah, we're having a good day. Let's see. Moving on down, looking for question marks primarily. Dottie's still praying for us. Thank you, Dottie. And let's see. Sidecar Bob has some question mark. Well, wait a minute. I might have missed. No, I think that's it. Sidecar Bob. Morning, all. Just checking in. I'll be out getting supplies for my projects when the vlog is live, so I'll have to watch it later. Well, good. I hope you do watch it later. James Copy says, my son is digging a channel between our ponds in a big loop. The ponds were stock ponds and kept full via a well. Well, that'd be a tough way to keep a pond full. But if that, you have to do what you have to do. Wayne Blitz. Hi, Jerry. We got rain out baling hay last night, just a light frizzy. Now, I'll tell you, there's one thing you can do to get rain anytime you want it, and that is go cut hay or throw a bluegrass festival. Either one of those two things ups your odds to about 90% that you're going to get rain. It's not 100%, but 90% chance of getting rain is pretty good. So just bale or cut some hay or throw a bluegrass festival. Either one of those and you'll get rain. Ask me how I know. Trust me, I've been there and done that a million times. Let's see. Moving on down here. I thought maybe I missed somebody. Ronald Todd says, after we went live here, Jerry, I just picked up a Lakato MT3200W, and it is the best so far. Easy. I have a Snark Van Gogh and a Fender, so far Lakato is working the best. Thanks for the review. Well, good. I don't know what that specific model number relates to, but they have a lot of good products, and so far I'm real happy with what they've sent me. I like my little tuner, and I like the first mic adapter that we got, the wireless mic adapter. I have not tested the new wireless mic yet. I just haven't found the time yet, but I got to get to that real soon. James Copy bought a plastic welder from Harbor Freight to repair a part called a trolley on one of our garage door openers. The company overhead is out of business, but the motor still works. Well, good. I hope it works for you on that plastic welding. I've had good luck with it so far. I think it works pretty well. It's better if you can put some reinforcement in it. I think that's a true statement. Rod Wintler, That cedar looks wonderful, and you are an impressive builder, an inspiration to me. Well, thank you. I don't consider myself to be a real carpenter. I do pretty good. I would say I'm a step above a weekend warrior on carpentry because I've done so much of it. I wouldn't call myself like a journeyman carpenter by any stretch. But somewhere between a weekend warrior and a journeyman carpenter, I think I could fit in there. Ronald Todd, in response to your new desk, every flat surface is a collection spot for stuff. That is a black and white fact. Yeah, I know all about that. Especially in a workshop. Oh my gosh. If you clean off a workbench, I guarantee you within just a few minutes, somebody's going to put something on top of it. That's just the way it works. Gary Hayden, that cedar will weather quite well. Yeah, it only takes it a few days to turn dark. I mean, it doesn't take it very long at all. You probably even notice there were some different colors in the cedar, and that's because of exposure to light. But in just a few days, it'll all match. You won't even be able to tell what was new and what was older. It don't take long at all. Wavy Gravy, my next door neighbor and his wife are fighting again. He told her the only way she would ever have a smoking hot body was if she was cremated. I'm not going there. Cup of Cool. One other way to get some rain is to go to the Bristol race, day or night. Ask me how I know. Yeah, you can pretty much bet if you got something planned like that, you're gonna get nailed. It's just kind of the way it works. And it always works that way. I mean, seriously though, I can't think of more than just a few percentage-wise bluegrass festivals that I went to that it didn't rain. I mean, almost all of them it rained. And I mean, if you have them in July or September, it doesn't matter when you have them, it's going to rain. It just kind of does. It's the weirdest thing about that. It's very few I've ever been to that it didn't rain, at least a little bit. But anyway, I don't have a whole lot more, guys. There's 84 viewers at the moment. I think I'm going to call it good, and it's a short one today, but I didn't have a whole lot to cover because all I did was work on that wall since yesterday, and I tried to do a few of these little product review videos. I did get the the product video released on the plasma cutter, the Vevor plasma cutter, and that baby has saved the day a couple of times. The video title says it saved the day. Well, it really did. I mean, I could have done it with a cutting torch, but cutting torches are kind of a pain too. That plasma thing is so much easier, really. You don't have anything. You don't have to have gas. You do have to have an air compressor connected to it, but most any shop has an air compressor, and a lot of homes these days have an air compressor for airing up your own tires for whatever you have. So an air compressor is not that difficult. Having a specific kind of like oxygen or argon or something for some other kind of, or just like on a torch. Like I've got a canister of a propane and a canister of oxygen for my cutting torch. Well, with this plasma cutter, all you need is to hook it up to an air hose and you're off to the races. That thing is awesome. And since I made that video, I used it yesterday. Well, it was probably 2 days ago. I used it to cut a hole in the top of our brush hog. That brush hog that I made that goes on the front of the skid steer, the one that I converted to a hydraulic driven. We had to replace the whole gear and all that stuff and the undercarriage and everything. Well, then the hole to loosen the bolts, because most of them have a hole in the top surface where you can reach through and get to the bolts to take the blades off. Well, this didn't line up anymore, so I had to cut a new hole in the top of the the brush hog in order to get to where the bolts were. And I used the plasma cutter again. It's just awesome. It's just a great tool. I really do like the Vivor plasma cutter. I would recommend it. I just released it a little while ago, so I don't think I've put it out there on my products I use yet, but I'm definitely going to put a link to it on the products I use page. In fact, I'm going to do that as soon as we hang up here. Nancy Milowski, this Thursday for the live band? Well, if it is, I hadn't thought about it. Honestly, I hadn't thought about it. But you're right, it is. I honestly had it's just over top of my head. So tomorrow, then, get your requests in for tomorrow. I don't want to take them today because I'm just too busy as it is. But tomorrow, put your requests in for that, and we'll have our live show Thursday evening. Thanks for the reminder, Nancy. Wavy Gravy, large outdoor weddings are also a storm magnet. Yeah, I betcha. I would bet on that one. Guys, that's going to be it. I will see you tomorrow with something else. Bring your song requests tomorrow as well. We'll see you then.